Mr. Holmes, you've returned. Have you uncovered anything new about the theft?
Not yet, Mr. Vogel.
Mr. Holmes, you've returned. Have you uncovered anything new about the theft?
I've brought news, but not all of it will please you.
Fill me in, Mr. Holmes. I won't shoot the messenger.
I located the thief, but found him rather cold. He was tight-lipped about the painting, too.
Huh, he's dead. How very droll, Mr. Holmes. One presumes you were not responsible.
It was an accident at the refugee camp. He impaled himself on his own knife.
Life is nothing if not cruel and capricious.
I tracked down Boniface Mercurio.
I presume he wasn't delighted about the situation.
He was not having a good day on account of his murder. Killed in his own flat by the same person that stole his painting.
Oh, sweet Mercurio, perishing in the pursuit of his art. How apt. I will miss his exceptional sense of humor. What about the stolen painting? Have you located it?
I found the painting, but I could not retrieve it.
Well then, where is it?
In Bernadotti's office.
Bernadotti? That shady businessman? Why would he steal it from me?
I'm afraid you'll have to ask him yourself.
I take it you found something more then.
I found the source of Mercurio's artistic inspiration. A photograph. What troubled me was that the sexual act captured was non-consensual.
She was violated? Dear God, how despicable.
Her abuser was in fact the British envoy. Mercurio took a picture of him committing the atrocity and then used it as artistic inspiration.
I had no idea a mere break-in would eventually expose such barbarity.
Mr. Vogel, I want you to make everything public, including the photograph. I'm sure you have a connection at the Cordona Chronicle.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. Loyal to your own truth till the end. Yes, I'm acquainted with the staff of the Chronicle. The story is sensational, and will surely draw attention to the gallery. But you must be aware that exposing the scandal will further hurt the victim. Does that not bother you?
No matter what one does, the truth tends to come out, as well it should. I won't be the one to stand in its way.
Though it's only your subjective truth being exposed. Not that I'm judging. It's perfectly reasonable for everyone to have their own views.
When you called me, you knew exactly what you would get.
Oh, but I'm not like you, Mr. Holmes. I cannot be sure of anything. Regardless, I must thank you, for art's sake. Well, now that we've resolved all of our outstanding matters, I have a gift for you. I took the liberty of having it delivered to Stonewood Manor. I am told it belonged to your mother.
Previously, you mentioned there may have been more to my mother's passing than consumption. It appears you were right.
Oh dear, I'd hoped to be wrong.
She was unstable, mentally unwell. She required sustained, specialized treatment, but her madness persisted.
I knew that Violet had disappeared from the public eye, but had no idea of her suffering. I cannot imagine what you're feeling.
I'm fine. And what exactly have you sent me?
Frankly, I'm not sure how to answer that. I trust you'll know.
Thank you, Mr. Vogel. I am curious to see what you have procured.
A fresh newspaper? I wish you a pleasant reading.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes, I presume.
Correct. With whom do I have the pleasure?
Emilio Esteva, happy to make your acquaintance. I am here on behalf of Mycroft, your brother. He's on his way to Cordona. In the meantime, he requests your assistance with a sensitive matter. My orders are to provide you with the details.
You have my attention, Mr. Esteva.
Mark Ridley, the son of General Arthur Ridley, is being blackmailed. Suffice to say, the compromising material is of a delicate nature. The matter is of no small importance to the Crown, especially given the status quo on Cordona.
What about the status quo?
The Ottoman population holds a certain animosity towards the colonial rule. It's been this way since we took over the island. General Ridley made concessions with their leaders, but I'm afraid we are still teetering on the edge of open hostility.
What does Mycroft want me to do? Retrieve the blackmail material?
No, sir, nothing of the sort. Mark Ridley is meeting the blackmailer atop the old city bridge tower. You shall observe from a distance, then establish the blackmailer's identity. Do not attempt to arrest him. We'll handle it from there.
Saving the best for yourself? Fine.
There is a cafe just over the bridge that provides a good vantage point. Please report to me when you are done. I'll be waiting for you here, and remember, discretion is of the essence.
I imagine Goliath was surprised to find out his lady was not real. It's a bizarre object, and yet oddly familiar.
Did you just remember something?
Yes. A room full of curiosities and artifacts. I think I can find it in the manor.
Sherlock. So, you continue to pursue the imaginary. I had hoped you might have got all this out of your system by now.
Mycroft, what are you doing here? Get out of my house.
It's my house, actually. I've come to bring you back.
I have no interest in returning, let alone with you. I know you lied about Mother all these years, claiming she was merely ill, but she was unstable. She never had tuberculosis. She was not recuperating, but mentally deteriorating, and you never once thought to tell me. How dare...
I shall not indulge this petulant tantrum. You can just tire yourself out and then slink back to London with your tail between your legs.
Just tell me everything! I'm an adult now. Show me the basic courtesy of an explanation. You know I will find out eventually.
The goal was stability, and that's what you got. The right thing for everyone was to try and move on from her passing.
The consequences of one's actions determines what is right or wrong.
Yes, exactly. The ends justify the means. After leaving Cordona, Sherlock, you had a normal childhood. In London, I was able to support you, guide you, shape you into a fine and productive young man. You have so much potential, so much to offer society.
But that's not the end. Now I found the truth, and it has shattered everything I knew about her, about you, and about myself. I feel unstable because of you. Your actions were not justified. Lying never is.
Oh, grow up, Sherlock. It was a white lie which has as much use in the realm of the interpersonal as the international. It is time you come to accept that some things are bigger than yourself.
Oh, you are full of it. You like to pretend you care about the big picture, but it's just an ego trip. You like knowing more than others. You like greasing palms and rubbing shoulders with the rich and powerful. You like having eyes and ears everywhere. The fact it helps the nation is incidental, because all you care about is yourself.
It's true. I have agents everywhere, including Cordona. If you weren't so damn stubborn, you'd realize that means I'm only here for you.
Just... Look at this thing. It's huge.
I remember returning home with a pair of perfect sticks. We wanted to turn them into training swords.
Oh, that's right. We stood there, frozen, staring at something huge in the main hall. It was a giant aquarium with a living mermaid in it.
Impossible, it must have been something else. Oh, of course, that mortifying hoax presently taking up space in our front yard.
Well, fine. Your memory's better than mine. But I'm sure we started examining it immediately. And someone else was around too.
It was my mother. She asked what I thought of the artifact.
You were really concentrating and holding something in your hand.
I inspected it with a magnifying glass and was able to confirm it was made of two different skeletons. The mermaid was a fake.
And so it was time to smash the thing. Your mother took a hammer and...
Slow down, John. That's not how it happened. I remember other people joined us. The workers took the artifact and placed it into the cabinet of curiosities. It became part of Mother's collection of fakes. She always said that the truth lies in the details. This mermaid helped me to learn that. Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it. Ah yes, my mother's studio. She was an authenticator, and this was her cabinet of curiosities.
I never saw the point. What does it matter if some artifact is real or not? It still exists.
One of the most ridiculous fakes I ever saw. Its owner insisted it was a polar bear. He thought the white paint on the brown fur wasn't noticeable. I remember this cozy blanket. It was perfect for a...
Wigwam! Oh, that was a joy to build them. Imagining ourselves as wayfarers on the other side of the world.
Watkinson and Holman, Chapter 1, by Wallace D. Oram.
Oh, Mycroft. He always acts so serious, but then reads tripe like this.
John, if I remember correctly, you couldn't put this book down. Another fake Holy Grail. Its owner claimed to be the heir of King Arthur. Scarcely believable. He also insisted a deadly rabbit was hunting him. Mother said this was among the hunting trophies of a Scottish Viscount.
So he tried to persuade everyone that his forest was inhabited by these beasts. It would have been thrilling if it were actually true.
The full plate armour of Sir Robert Saunford. I was told my father won it in a wager.
Armour is armour, but look at his sword. Oh, how badly I wanted to wield the blade. Maybe you take it instead of your pistol.
Clearly, it was deliberately torn. I wonder why someone would do that. The Tulpa, Studies in Tibetan Mentalism. An impressive number of bookmarks. Someone was rather obsessed with this subject. And this one was brought from a German museum. They claimed it belonged to Vikings. Nonsense, of course. Vikings never had horns on their helmets. The so-called mummy of a Persian princess. The defrauders did good work, but missed one small detail. It's the mummy of a man. I'm not sure I want to hear its horrifying, inhuman howl again. 1852, Bingley, West Yorkshire. This photo caused a lot of fuss. My mother spent some time to prove it was a fake.
Look, it's Roger. This jolly old man's well preserved. Even looks refreshed.
I doubt he drew much interest at the auction.
That's for the best. I'd be upset if he fell into the wrong hands.
Carefully opened. Dated 24th of April, 1869. So many calling cards. Mycroft liked to keep useful people at hand. Reliable and driven. I recognize Mycroft's handwriting. Officer Luciano J. Placido. This drawer was always closed. Only Mycroft knew how to open it.
I remember we tried to break it open and spy on him, but alas, had no success. Maybe today's the day. Oh, Sherry.
I'm starting to remember something. I used this ladder to look at the top shelf, right? On the day of Mother's breakdown upstairs.
Right you are, Sherry.
We heard a noise. I can't recall of exactly what, and we didn't have a great view from behind the statue. Books and papers from the table somehow ended up on the floor. Now it's coming to the surface. I feel it. comes back. We snuck about watching him.
He closed the drawer and went to the hall. We were like two shadows crawling behind him.
He opened the door to the postman, and they exchanged documents. If it was a real postman, of course. The painting on the wall was slightly at tilt. He stopped and straightened it. Then he threw some logs into the fire and sat in his armchair to read.
It's as boring now as it was then. I'm sorry, Sherry, but I think that's it.
Wait, John, we never use the fireplace in the mornings. What if... A bit of juniper in the fireplace created a soothing atmosphere. It's the little things, isn't it? I think this is what we're looking for.
We made it. So what's there?
Gifted by Queen Victoria herself. Single malt whiskey, Mycroft's favourite. Otto Richter. This one is rather thick. Mycroft can be truly dogged in his research. Dossiers on the most influential people on Cordona. Mycroft always had a habit of building files on everyone he met.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate. You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Come on, Sherry. Let's go outside. Wait. Did you hear that? Come here, Sherry.
You call this progress? Charlatan, amateur. I'm not letting you anywhere near my mother again.
So there was a quarrel between them. I heard a noise in the hall. Let's check it out. Sherry, look! We've got a parcel here. Hurry up and let's see what's inside.
Mycroft's umbrella, the only outgoing thing in his wardrobe.
An invitation that comes with a mask. We can't miss this, Sherry.
And the kiss mark, it's the work of a siren, I'm telling you.
Here to gawk at the bloater?
Not at all, officer. Perhaps I can help.
Help with what exactly? Solving an accident? Fellow drank himself to death, literally. Case closed. It's not the first case, neither. A few days ago, another drunken sailor drowned himself in a fountain.
What can you tell me about the other sailor?
Nothing to tell. Some rich chap complained about a dead body in a fountain. Wasn't me who inspected the scene, though. Should have gone easy on the bottle, if you ask me. They get to shore, they start drinking like fish. Too bad booze doesn't make them grow gills, eh?
There's talk on the streets that a siren could be responsible for the drownings.
A siren? You mean the bird woman kind? Why, of course, we got sirens aplenty round here. Harpies, too. Oh, please.
I would like to take a look around.
Go ahead. Just don't disturb the evidence, all right? I still have to write my report.
The water is shallow and the slope is smooth. One would have to be dead drunk to drown here. His whole body is tense, stiffened by rigor mortis. kiss on the forehead is quite intimate, but the vulgar lip rouge suggests a different type of intimacy. Interesting. The face is frozen in a contorted smile.
What's happened?
His fingers are clenched as if he's clutching to life even now.
Who is it?
Worn, soaked boots, size 8. Something smells fishy here, and it's not brine.
What's happened? Oh, who is it? Who is it?
Siren's song. The rumours weren't so absurd after all. There's still some left, just enough for a tipple. A bright red lip rouge mark. Light tobacco with a hint of citrus. The sediment contained cyanide. It turns out he was poisoned.
Didn't the copper say that fellow drank himself to death? He wasn't wrong.
What now? I've still got my report to write, so make it quick.
I hate to break it to you, officer, but it wasn't an accident.
Care to elaborate, smarty boots?
The bottle of wine I found near the victim had been poisoned with cyanide. He was dead before he hit the water.
Whoa, that's a twist. Any leads on the poisoner?
Nothing to put my finger on, but I might need to inspect the other drowned sailor.
Well, of course I won't stop you. It's not my case anyway. We had a complaint about a body in a fountain. Can't have bodies laying about in fountains, can we? It was somewhere in Scaladio, as far as I know. You think they're connected?
That is what I intend to find out. Thank you.
Damn it. Oh, who's... Did you hear this? Did you hear Basil?
In the police. Let's pretend to be cops, eh? We can just stand around and look confused.
What a long day.
Excuse me, but are you Mr. Capello? My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm hoping you could spare a moment to talk.
Manners, what a pleasant surprise. Most of your colleagues have lacked even the simplest of common courtesies.
You're a suspect, sir, but not yet a criminal. I shan't treat you as such. Your case is refreshingly unusual, and I wish to get to the bottom of it.
Manners and enthusiasm. Huh. May you go far, young man. What can I help you with?
You are surprisingly composed for a man accused of murder. Not so easily shaken, I take it.
Life is full of surprises. You'd be astonished how many deals go sour due to a force majeure. One becomes skilled at adapting. I am confident this will all be set straight. Until then, I will endure.
Much how you endure that injured hand. Those bruises look painful, but you seem barely aware of it. Were you attacked?
No. A minor accident, nothing more. My heady days as a man out to prove his valor are far behind me. I now know that to succeed in life, one must stay calm and plan ahead. The world will turn your way eventually. And if it does not, then one must persuade it so.
Please, tell me how you ended up in this situation.
Well, this morning some clients arrived to finalize their purchase of a Capello modular safe. But when we opened the door, out tumbled a dead man.
And I take it this wasn't normal?
No, I normally keep my corpses in the wardrobe. Please, young man, spare me your wit. The rest of the day was a blur. I recognized the victim, and it seems so did the police. That was enough to make me the main suspect.
Who sent for the authorities?
No one. As it happens, we had a break-in last night. Nothing was stolen, but for insurance purposes, the report had to be made. So, police officers just happened to be on the premises when we discovered the body in the safe.
You say you became the suspect when the police identified the victim. Is there history between you?
Surely you jest. That man and I have never met, and never would, unless he became the first deity in history to use our products.
Some sort of family feud? I'm afraid I'm not familiar.
You must be new to Cordona. It's an old tale. Back in Italy, generations ago, the Detis tried to ruin our family business. They nearly succeeded. The Capellos rightfully struck back, but there has been bad blood ever since.
And does that blood flow in you too?
I told you, sir, it's an old story, or it was. I fear this horrible event portends worse to come. My wife may be in danger as we speak.
You mentioned you were showing your wares to some prospective buyers when the safe was opened. Who were they?
Clerks from the bank. They inspected the safe from top to bottom yesterday. I assumed the sale was just a formality at that point.
And the safe was closed?
It's usually open, but it locks automatically when the door swings closed. That's another marvelous Capello invention.
A coffin that locks itself. Marvelous indeed. Help me grasp your movements yesterday. What time did you meet the customers from the bank, and did you have any other appointments?
Yesterday, the bank clerks arrived at 10 a.m. Afterwards, I was alone in the office until my wife Augusta came in at 3 p.m. I left for home at 6:30 p.m.
And what about this morning?
Our meeting for the demonstration was set for 9 a.m. I arrived about half an hour prior in order to prepare.
I have one final inquiry. Do you recall the time at which the safe door was closed?
Young man, I may just as well ask you when you closed your cigar case. I have opened our safes a dozen times a day for a dozen years. I do not recall.
I'd like to inquire about the burglary.
I'm not sure I see the connection. But if you wish to know more, talk to Billy Lloyd, the night watchman. He scared off the thief.
Was it also Billy that discovered the burglar?
No, my wife did. She had stayed late yesterday. Poor Augusta. At least she's safer with the police than at home alone.
Well, Mr. Capello, I think that's all I need from you at present. Where can I find your office?
Here, take my card. Billy should be on site to assist with the investigation. And please, sir, would you check on my wife before you depart?
Thank you. I will endeavor to speak with her before I leave the station.
Please, treat her gently. Women lack our resilience when it comes to ordeals like this. I shall eagerly await your return. After all, there's little else I can do.
Mrs. Capello, please wait in the office. The inspector will be here soon. and die.
You must be the inspector.
Would you be Augusta Capello?
Must I really repeat myself to every baby-faced man in uniform that strides in?
Forgive me, I am not the inspector, but I am working on your husband's case.
Then I have nothing to say to you. Come back with the inspector in charge so that we may dispense with the endless repetition.
Whilst I prefer German composers, the harp solo from Lucia di Lammermoor stands out as one of Donizetti's finest contributions to the form. I'm sure Basilio thought the same.
He did. How? Did he tell you how we met?
Oh, there was no need. It is trivial to observe how much you value your memories of playing harp in the orchestra, and even an amateur Italian harpist would be familiar with Donizetti's finest work.
Yes. Music is a balm in these uncertain times. It is nice to meet another who appreciates it.
Much as I appreciate the truth. Please, Mrs. Capello, let me help you and your husband.
I am not unappreciative, sir. But I'm afraid I presently lack the strength.
Basilio tells me you were present during the burglary yesterday. What can you tell me about it?
Oh, it gave me such a fright. I fainted, fell to the floor. I wish I could help you, but, I'm just utterly useless. Please, I want to rest before the inspector arrives.
Were you familiar with the deceased man found in the safe?
No, I did not know him, nor can I conceive of how the poor soul ended up there.
You've had quite the day, Mrs. Capello. I shall leave you be. If I have further questions, I may visit again later.
fountain and removed the body. I'm too late.
No matter, we'll work with what we have. Last week's newspaper, the front page reads, "Sky is the limit, Governor funds Arsenal's second airship." A broken bottle with no label. A bright red lip rouge mark. Light tobacco with a hint of citrus.
Drowning in a 2 feet deep fountain? I've seen some things, but this really takes the biscuit.
A cotton shawl. Could it be our sirens? This wine again. Don't sailors prefer spirits? Drained to the last drop. Ugh, the litter bin is right there. The victim won't be needing his cap anymore. I might as well take it. A worn leather tobacco pouch, salt stained from a long time at sea.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
This sailor is another victim of the same woman. She poisoned him and pushed him into the fountain to make it look like an accident.
Sherlock, the spot where he fell, I saw something. Maybe you should take a look.
A water-soaked matchbox from the Drinking Dutchman. Must be a local pub.
Blimey, the great detective is baffled by a piece of cutlery.
Venetian copper soldi. Authentic, but worthless.
Not in the mood for chit-chat.
You sure you're in the right place? We don't serve cocktails here.
I'm looking for information about a sailor who recently drowned in Scaladio. Would you happen to know anything about him?
Maybe, maybe not. Why would I talk to a landlubber about it, eh?
All right then, have it your way.
Come closer and try something on. You want the finest clothes for the finest citizens. A perfect choice.
I'm shipping up to Boston in a few days.
What can I get you, mate?
Nah, I'm good. Don't want to end up like that guy who drowned in the fountain after having one too many.
Aye, I know the fella. Shame, damn shame. But let me tell ya, it wasn't the drink that got him. 'Twas a curse.
Let me guess. It had something to do with this siren?
No way, mate. That's just a daft superstition. I'm talking about a real curse here. He was from HMS Achilles. Some British schooner, nothing special. Except one of them Jack Tars shot an albatross. Everyone knows it's bad luck. Everyone. The dimwit brought the curse upon his whole crew. 3 are dead already.
Wait, I've heard of only 2 such accidents. Are you saying that another man drowned?
Drowned or not, they've all kicked the bucket. Just this morning, another member of the crew was found dead. It's a curse, I'm telling ya.
Now we're obliged to...
It must indeed be the curse, but how do you know all that?
Why, he told me the whole story himself.
The victim told you?
His crewmate. The one who killed an albatross, Harry Thorne. He's renting a room upstairs. Every day, he gets completely rat-arsed. raving on and on about the bird around his neck. He's sleeping it off right now. But when the blighter wakes up, it'll be the same thing all over again.
Do you have a free room?
Certainly do. Dirt cheap. Here's the key. Go pick anyone you like.
This place stinks of you.
Well, if it ain't Mr. Smarty Boots. Guess what? You were right about the poisoning, but this time I'm ahead of the game. We've got another homicide on our hands. Same method, same everything. See for yourself.
An empty bottle of rum. There'd be no sirens. A sharp, bloody rock stuck deep in the mud. The officer must have rolled the body over. He suffered a head wound. There's caked blood in his hair underneath all the mud. Looks like he slipped. This was clearly an accident.
What did I tell you? We've a killer on the loose. I knew it.
That may be true, but this here is very clearly an accident. The victim slipped and hit his head on a rock. I would have thought it obvious.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I thought I had all this sewn up. But you just had to come along and make me look like an idiot. I hope you're happy now, genius. Just move along.
So it was a curse after all. The curse of clumsiness. I hope it's not contagious.
Oh, it smells of stale cigarettes and damp bedsheets. Not exactly the best place to stay in town. Oh, the smell alone makes me feel groggy. The photo of the cursed crew. Here's Thorn, and right next to him, our first drowning victim. Crew of HMS Achilles, Cordona 1879.
The same as we saw earlier. She's pretty free with her kisses.
Perhaps too much for her own good.
Now we walk into a trap, guns blazing. The game is afoot, Sherry boy.
Well said. I think I'll borrow that line from you, old chum.
Oof, he's really gone on a binge.
He's out cold. No use trying to wake him.
Come on over, lovey. Don't be shy. I can see you're up for some fun. Madame Pauline will see you right. Girls, boys, a bit of both. Whatever tickles your pickle, darling.
I'm looking for the girl who wrote this letter. Perhaps you know who she might be?
Let me see. No, I don't know, lovey. I have a Lizzie here, but I doubt she can even spell her own name. And what's all this nonsense about a special client? This is a business we're running here, not a charity. I don't see what you're getting at.
I'm looking for a specific girl. This is her shawl. Do you have any idea where she might be?
Ah, I know who you mean. It's the goody 2 shoes down the street. She's not one of mine, though. She's not even a working girl if I say so myself. Trust me, Lovey. We'll give you a much better time.
I don't doubt it, Mom, but I have to see her first. Thanks for your help.
Yeah, I think we should interrogate some of them. Well, hell, all of them.
May I ask you something?
Oh, sorry. I know nothing about it. But I can please you in another way.
Can I ask you a question?
No, honey. I've heard nothing.
Oh, I am bored. Call me when you find the answer.
Sorry, you're not my type. Sorry, you're not my type.
Come, the finest clothes for the finest citizens. A perfect choice.
Sorry, you're not my type. Harry, it's you! I knew you'd come. It's been so long, but you haven't changed a bit. I don't suppose you remember me, do you?
Can't say that I do.
Oh, it's all right. I expected as much. You were a few sheets to the wind the night we... You know, I'm Eliza, but you can call me anything you like, my lovely. Did you get my letter?
Ah, yes, the letter. Hello, Eliza.
Hello, handsome. I've missed you. I wonder if you still have your prowess. Why don't we go to my place for some wine and something extra?
How could I refuse such an offer from a pretty girl like you? Let's go right now.
Wonderful. Follow me. It's not far from here. Well, here we are. Make yourself comfortable, love. There's wine on the table. You should have some. Loosen you up. Bring out your naughty side.
Won't you drink with me?
Absolutely. I'll join you in a minute. I just need to powder my nose.
All right then. I'll be waiting for you, pet.
Did you just call her pet? Seriously? Boy, you are truly hopeless, Sherlock.
Siren's song. She is consistent, I'll give her that. The bottle was open and the cork replaced.
Enjoy your wine, sweetie. I'll be out in a minute.
A fresh lick of paint, some warm touches, and anyone could call this place a home.
Enjoy your wine, sweetie. I'll be out in a minute.
Can't leave just yet.
A fresh lick of paint, some warm touches, and anyone could call this place a home.
Enjoy your wine, sweetie. I'll be out in a minute.
A fresh lick of paint, some warm touches, and anyone could call this place a home.
Can't leave just yet.
Enjoy your wine, sweetie. I'll be out in a minute. Enjoy your wine, sweetie. I'll be out in a minute.
Can't leave just yet.
you want to keep this stupid act up, you better pour out the wine and quick. Hurry up, she'll be out any second.
HMS Achilles, Friday, 5 p.m. She prepared for their arrival. The beloved child of a rich family.
And done. No hard feelings, Mr. Fickus, right? Come on, hurry up.
Ah, she's smoking citrus-flavoured cigarettes. The dots connect. White powder with a bitter almond-like odour. These are no smelling salts. It's cyanide.
This lip rouge looks good on her. Just saying. Oh, here she comes.
Sorry for making you wait, sweetie. I hope the wine has kept you good company.
Oh, yes. I needed to wet my whistle real bad.
Splendid, Harry. Bravo. Refreshing, isn't it? Now let me refresh your memory as well.
I don't feel so well.
As well you shouldn't. But don't worry. It'll be all over soon. It won't hurt. Much. At least not as much as when you and your friends forced yourselves on me. Not as much as when you ripped away my clothes, my dignity, my life. I've hated you with all my heart. But not anymore. Now I forgive you. Truly I do. Let me kiss you goodnight.
Now, that would hardly be appropriate, miss.
Wait, what's happening?
It's time I drop my act. This beard is false. I'm not Harry Thorne.
Oh, I see. You're from the police then, yes? Here to question me?
There's no need. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I know that you killed Thorne's crewmates, and I know why.
Well, Mr. Holmes, you can save your breath. I won't deny a thing. But please, stop tormenting me with this farce. Do what you must.
I will keep it a secret, but you do have to stop.
How can I stop now after all I've done? I thought it would bring me solace. Stupid. It is too late.
You cannot undo what you've done, that much is true, but it's not too late to move on. It's never too late.
You're right. You must be right. I knew it all along, I just didn't have it in me to admit it.
I'm glad that you do now. And here's your shawl. Try not to lose it again.
I won't. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Thank you so much.
Extra, extra! They interested in some Cordona news? Check the front. Page, you won't regret it.